The heroes of 9/11 were the first responders and emergency workers who rushed to the World Trade Center and worked tirelessly for weeks at Ground Zero. Some of them have taken what they learned during that terrible time and are using it to help victims of other disasters. This morning, we're joined by Bill Keegan, the founder of H.E.A.R.T 9/11. And as a member of the Port Authority Police Department, he is credited with saving lives during both attacks on the World Trade Center. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. You know, you served as operations commander of the World Trade Center Rescue and Recovery Mission. You were there during 9/11. As we, come upon this 10-year anniversary, take us back to that time and help us understand exactly what you did and how difficult that was for you.
Well, I was at home when I heard the news of the plane crashing into the buildings, and then we saw that the second plane had hit the buildings, and I knew then it was a declaration of war, and I knew that I had to rush to the World Trade Center as I had done in 1993. When I arrived near the World Trade Center on North Moore Street, I began to be briefed about just how bad it was, and I heard names of very close friends of mine who were missing and presumed dead. And as I looked down south into the World Trade Center to see that eight-story high pile of twisted steel was just an incredible sight.
And you spent weeks upon weeks down there.
Well, actually, I spent the entire 9 months down there, almost 2,700 hours with that mission.
What you have done is quite remarkable, though. You've taken that experience and all that you've learned and all that you have just gone through emotionally and physically and turned it into something very positive. Tell us a little bit about H.E.A.R.T 9/11 and what that is.
Well, I was very proud to work in New York City as a police officer with the Port Authority Police Department. I was a lieutenant with the Special Operations, and I worked with the NYPD, I worked with the FDNY, and we all watched as the ironworkers built this city. So I knew of their professionalism, I knew how good they were in this complex infrastructure and this diverse population. But we raised it to a whole different level down at the World Trade Center during that rescue recovery mission. And the bonds that were formed amongst us, and to see that level of professionalism, that expertise, that experience coming together and doing the job as well as we did it, as safely as we did it, I knew that those were bonds that I would keep for the rest of my life. Upon my retirement in 2006, I decided to renew those bonds and to gather those people who had retired back together again and to do what we used to do for money, for a living, as a volunteer group. And take our expertise and, most importantly, our empathy for being victimized ourselves and taking that forward to future victims. And it's interesting when the victims look at us and they go, "Where are you guys from? Boy, you're here to help me? Somebody should be helping you." And we tell them, no, we've come through it now. We've come through it by our giving. I think many of the people that work down there, because we were able to change our environment and give comfort to the families, we know what it takes to come outside of ourselves, and that's in that giving way.
It's really a wealth of experience that you're sharing with these people who are indeed in need.
Mm-hmm. Well, it does happen just that way, and we've been down to the Gulf Coast a number of times during a hurricane, and we'll walk in and we'll find out that the Public Works director is in charge of logistics, and he's not quite sure what to do. And when he sees us walk through the door, he's very happy to turn over the keys and take whatever assistance we want to give to him. We've also built homes for Marines that have returned home with severe injuries. We've been to Haiti almost 13 times, rebuilding homes. We're there during the search and rescue, providing medical help to them, establishing hospitals and makeshift tents for people to be treated by different doctor groups. So our travels have been throughout the world. We've met a lot of different people. We've had a great time doing what we do by our nature. We're cops and firemen and are drawn to helping people, and it's great to be able to do that as we move through our retirement years.
Well, what is it like for you on a personal level, you and your volunteers? Because I know that it has to be a sense of healing as well, to take what you've learned and to use it to help others.
Yeah, it's almost a healing by helping. And that's what we did down at the Trade Center. And so all we're doing is just taking that experience, that what we've identified, that helped us through our times, and we're just taking it forward to other people. And it's that sense of hope. If we're there now helping them, there's hope for them that they can come through their time of trials and come through it as better people, as I think most of us that went through the World Trade Center recovery mission, we've come out of it different. And I say different in a better way. And I think in reflective mode, going back and looking at what we had done, we find ourselves introspectively better people for having gone through that.
We're coming up on the 10-year anniversary. Your organization has grown through the years, both volunteer-wise and also by helping others, and just the amount of people you've been able to help. Where do you go from here?
Well, we want to build out more. We need more equipment, we need more tools, we need people to help us procure those types of things, because we're no good if we don't have tools. You know, we go into places that already have strained resources. So if we don't arrive with the tools and equipment that are necessary, we're just putting an additional strain on those people. And having been at the World Trade Center and having so many volunteers come down, but without tools and equipment, I know what those people are going through. So what we're looking to do now is to expand our programs by getting more tools and equipment that allow us to even help more people.
It's really a remarkable organization, and we do appreciate you speaking with us about that. But before we let you go, I want to ask you about the anniversary that's coming up, 9/11, 10 years now. Where will you be, and how are you going to be, you know, I guess, commemorating and memorializing this?
Well, for the first time in 4 years, I'm going to go back downtown, and I'm going to spend it with 4 or 5 comrades from the World Trade Center Rescue Recovery Mission. And we're going to just walk around, and we're going to meet people I'm sure that we haven't seen in a while, and try to just say a prayer in the St. Paul's Church, and to pray for the families that lost, and to pray for our colleagues that aren't feeling well, and some of whom are very sick, and others who are just chronically sick. So that's how we've decided to spend this anniversary, and of course always looking forward to you know, the work that we're doing.
Well, we appreciate your service and we appreciate your time. Thanks for sharing a little bit of it with us.
And thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Bill Keegan. And we do want to remind you that if you'd like to find out more about his organization, just go to heart911.org.